Hello and welcome to Teachers Talk podcast brought to you by TalentHut TESOL Academy, and I'm your host, Nadia Obeid. In the ever evolving world of education, true impact is not only measured by lessons taught, but by systems transformed, teachers empowered, and students inspired to reach their highest potential. Our guest today is a powerhouse educator who embodies this holistic approach to leadership. With over a decade of experience, she has bridged the gap between pedagogy, business strategy, and cutting edge technology. She's a passionate advocate for professional development, having led tons of continuous professional development sessions, and is now diving deep into the future of our field, having completed advanced training in artificial intelligence for managers. She holds a master's in English language teaching and an MBA, making her perspective on educational leadership both profound and uniquely strategic. Please welcome to Teachers Talk the incredible Fatime. Fatime, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. I would like to say hello to everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sure, for sure. Let's get the ball rolling and head to my first question. Fatima, as you like to be called, your background is fascinating. So, from a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering to a Master's in ELT and an MBA, can you walk us through that journey and how your unique blend of skills shapes your approach to educational leadership?
Um, my journey, as you mentioned, hasn't definitely been linear. It started with chemical engineering. It wasn't really my passion. At that time, I was a good student, so I kind of followed the path of good students going to engineering. It kind of reflects the educational system that uh,
Yeah.
in which students are pushed into achieve more than exploring their own talents and interests. So I went to university, but soon I realized that the field didn't truly resonate with me. Luckily enough, I happened to help some people with English.
Mhm.
Um, that was when it dawned on me that I enjoyed environments in which there was human connection, communication, that creative problem solving of teaching. So that time I knew that teaching was my true calling. So I dedicated myself fully to the field, earning my master's in TEFL.
Mhm.
My curiosity and enthusiasm drove me towards leadership roles. So, quickly enough, I took on more leadership responsibilities
Mhm.
from a teacher to a supervisor to the deputy director of studies. And that was when the great next challenge came up.
Yeah.
My role wasn't only about pedagogy. It was, I was working with a rapidly growing organization and I was working and collaborating with other departments, human resources, marketing, sales. And I knew that if I wanted to create a great impact and if I wanted to interact effectively with other departments, I needed to know that business side of education. So that led me to pursue MBA.
Mhm.
Studying MBA has given me that strategic framework where I can see all the departments as an educational ecosystem, where I can define departmental boundaries, where I can collaborate, more effectively with other departments. So I guess my journey has given me a holistic view towards education.
Yeah. So the next question, Fatima. You managed a huge team of 8 supervisors and more than 75 teachers. What does educational leadership mean to you on a day-to-day basis? And then what was your biggest challenge in managing such a large team?
Well, there is a difference between being a leader and a manager. I don't know which one I was more, but I know my role integrated both. Sometimes I was a leader and sometimes I had to act as a manager. But on daily basis, I had to make sure that everyone knows what they should do. Uh, and how their contribution is going to relate to the big picture. So simply, I was planning for people, and I had to make sure they knew what they had to do. For instance, once we were preparing the students for a large e-seminar. So that was a huge project, and I had to break it down into manageable steps where students know what to do. Teachers know how they were supposed to support their students, and how teachers were going to prepare, how supervisors were going to prepare their students for that public speaking. So they talked about the presentations in classrooms, they gave feedback, then they held workshops. The result was spectacular, but the key success came from everyone knowing what to do and how they contributed to the whole result. I think that was very important. And my biggest challenge wasn't managing the big team. It was protecting the big team.
Yeah.
I had to make sure that they can focus on what matters the most. So I try to remove obstacles. I try to provide training and support so that they can focus on students' successful learning.
Yeah. I love how you lead from within, like you are part of the team and you lead by example. And I love the delegation of tasks. So you're asking people to put the pieces of the puzzle together so you can have the big picture of success. Thank you so much, Fatima. My next question is, your resume mentions you mediated conflicts between teachers, supervisors, and students. What is that one story that you won't forget about the difficult conflicts that you had, and what strategy did you use to resolve that conflict?
Well, that's a very nice question. I'm not going to go with with a specific example. Uh, I'm going to talk about my general experience. In education, we deal with people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Students, parents, teachers, supervisors, they have different personalities, and that diversity naturally leads to conflict. But
Yeah.
when it happened, I tried to focus on what mattered. Students' successful learning. I try to remind people about the fact that we are all working towards the same goal. So we weren't looking for the person who made the mistake. We were focusing on what went wrong and how we could fix it. Even when I was
Mhm.
talking to parents, I try to remind them that we are not on opposite sides. We are all working towards the same goal.
Same goal.
Yeah, so sometimes if it was the weak process, we try to fix the process. If it was someone needing more help, I try to support them with more training. And sometimes simply it was a misunderstanding. We try to clarify it. But regarding giving support to people, I had my own boundaries. It was going to be continuous support as long as I knew that they cared and they wanted to bring about a change. If I realized that they're indifferent and they're unwilling to change and improve,
Yeah.
so I would lose my interest in working with them. Another contributing factor that helped me a lot was my interest in psychology. I try to approach people the way that uh, uh, it was suitable for them. Like I approach them differently. Some people are sensitive. Some people struggle with structure and discipline. Some people are perfectionists. Those people who are perfectionists shouldn't be criticized. So I try to talk to them, ask questions, let them find out what the problem was and how they could solve it. And then last but not least, I worked on it a lot. I'm still working on it. And
Mhm.
I think it's the most important thing. I try to listen to everyone's story. I tried not to jump, not to interrupt them, not to judge them. I
Mhm.
try to listen and let them feel heard. So once they know that they are understood, once they know that we are all working towards the shared goal, the conflict naturally, the resolution to the conflict naturally happens.
Yeah, true. Fatima, you are emphatic and empathetic at the same time, and you are a good listener, which is key to being a good leader. Thank you so much. Uh, Fatima, you spearheaded over 50 continuing professional development sessions. What topics do you think were the most valuable to teachers?
Well, to be honest, most teachers are interested in sessions which are engaging, full of activities, games, and resources, so that they can go to their class the next day and immediately start using them. I totally understand it. But the thing is, I believe in order to be more than a popular teacher, in order to be transformative, we need to go beyond collecting activities. A classroom full of activities without theory, without knowing the why behind what we do, it looks like a pot full of good ingredients, but they don't simply blend. And we need
Yeah,
that critical thinking. We need the theory. We need to know the reasons behind why we are doing this. Where is the best time? When is the best time to use this activity? Where it fits best into our lesson plan, so that the ingredients come together.
yeah,
So in my CPD sessions, I try to integrate both. We focus on activities and samples first, but later on, I make sure I pay attention to the underlying principles, and we discuss why we are doing these. What kind of communicative skills, cognitive skills, linguistic skills are being developed. I love flip learning,
yeah.
because it gives me the opportunity to ask teachers to do a little bit of reading before coming to the class and sometimes
Cool.
after the class. So at the same time, while the time we spend together stays dynamic, they can move on and read more deeply.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So basically, you're telling me that what works at some point in one class doesn't work in the other. So we need to know what we are doing, when we are doing it, and why we are doing it. So that's really
Definitely.
cool. Yeah. You've worked with teenagers as a teacher and supervisor. What is one thing you learned working with them?
Oh my God. I love this question.
It's not going to be one thing, right? More than one.
Yeah. I love working with teenagers because other teachers find it challenging. The reason that
Yeah.
yeah, I like it is that I think I got the hang of it. As you mentioned, I worked with teenagers for many years as a teacher and the supervisor. One thing I learned best is that you cannot teach them effectively unless you respect their autonomy. So,
Wow.
yeah, they are at this developmental stage where they are trying to form their identities and set
Mhm.
boundaries. So instead of, controlling them, I try to remind myself that I'm here to guide them. And instead of insisting rigidly, uh, on my own expectations and rules, I give them second chances. So it's
Cool.
like I make sure that I remove all excuses by supporting them and by giving them opportunities to try again. And then I try to be patient. I provide them with clarity and choices. So little by little, we build that rapport and trust. Once the trust is built, they start opening up. They start accepting my feedback. So I guess, they need to feel competent. They need to
Yeah.
feel autonomous. So once these needs are met, I guess they begin to flourish.
Yeah, cool. The word autonomy is key here, and yes, when autonomy is there, they feel more confident, and they believe me. They try to prove themselves, like they want to show you that yes, I can do it. Here I am. I'm a human being. So yeah, I really love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Fatima, you trained over 100 students to become certified teachers. What are the one or two most common gaps you see in new teachers, and how does your training address them?
Well, there are two main gaps that I've noticed. The first one is lack of practical experience, and the
Mhm.
second one is a limited understanding of how theory connects with practice. In my training programs, I ask people to design lessons from the very first session. So I teach a principle and I immediately ask students, learners, to apply it to real context.
Cool.
When they move on, they become more able and they learn to write their lesson plans. So they come to the class, but I try not to correct them. Instead, I ask questions. I try to challenge their reasoning. Uh, so they find the opportunity to reflect on what they have done. So they think
Mhm.
again, they rewrite, they design, and that kind of activity gives them the opportunity to see that rationale behind teaching.
Yeah.
And I asked them to do many observations. I asked them to go as many classes as possible. And then they come back. We talk about what the teacher did, but not only what they saw, why the teacher did what she or he
Mhm.
did. So we try to discuss the alternatives, the reasons behind grouping, timing, correction, and that helps them to develop critical thinking and professional judgment.
Cool. So you're scaffolding the process for them, and you're asking about the rationale behind doing stuff. And then I really love the part of self-reflection because it's key in our development as human beings. Fatima, you were invited to become a mentor for an AI for managers course shortly after completing it, which is amazing. What was the most surprising insight you learned about AI's application in management?
To put it in a nutshell, AR for managers wasn't about processing data and automation. It was all about people. How
Mhm.
teachers, I keep repeating this buzzword teachers, how managers use AI and how they try to understand the information they receive and how they communicate it to their team members. That was
Mhm.
very surprising for me because I was waiting for a lot of data, a lot of automation and processing, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, looking back at your career so far, Fatima, what is the most important lesson you've learned about leadership?
Uh, well, there are a few things which are very common, like teachers should be inspirational, they should be honest, they take, did I again say teachers? I mean leaders.
Teachers, teachers, yes, but I understand it's leaders. But again, even teachers are leaders in the classrooms, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
definitely. But leaders, in the general sense, they need to take risks and stand by their values.
yeah.
But I think leadership starts with listening. So when you listen to understand people, when you listen to know what they really mean, they feel valued. And I
Exactly.
think that's very important. Also,
Yeah.
I think good leaders let you take calculated risks and they are always there to support you.
Mhm. Cool. I love that. I love that. And again, as I told you, this reminds me of The Humble Inquiry by Shannon Shine. This is a great book. And what you're saying, like I can hear a lot of buzzwords from that book in your speech here. Thank you so much, Fatima. Fatima, how do you personally avoid burnout? We all reach that point at some point in our lives, as like in families, in professional, personal lives. So, how do you usually avoid being a burnout, and how do you maintain your passion for education amidst all the administrative work you're doing?
By experiencing it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this question is really important for everybody who's listening to us.
Yeah. I've been burned out many times. But
Yeah.
gradually, I learned how to deal with it and how to avoid it. So,
Hmm.
uh, the first thing that I realized about myself, which
Give
is
us the recipe. Give us the recipe. Yeah.
yeah, I guess we need to get to know ourselves. For me,
Yeah.
it's very important to dedicate some time to myself, personal growth,
Oh,
where I can, feel that I am spending and investing in myself. I can improve my skills. So if my job interferes with that personal growth, I feel burnt out. So I have to
oh,
avoid it, right? And the other thing is that I take a full day off so that I can start the week more energized. I
refresh.
try to talk to mentors, people who are more experienced, they are more successful because they have lived the life I'm living. So I can get
True.
more from them. And something which was very important. And, looking back, I understood it. I I slowed down, but I never stopped. When you're
Yeah.
burned out, some people are like, "Okay, I'm done. I don't want to do it." Yeah, I think that's a very big decision. We shouldn't make it when we are burnt out. So I try to slow down. I try to take a deep breath, and at the same time, I keep going, and I postpone making decisions to a later time when I'm feeling better.
Yeah. Yeah. So agility and perseverance are key words here. So yes, at some points we feel like we're done. I'm not doing this anymore, but we have to keep doing it because we're inspirational, as you mentioned before. Beyond AI, Fatima, what other trend in education are you most excited or concerned about?
I'm interested in uh, essential human skills like
Mhm.
adaptability, resilience, continuous learning. I believe if we are all, as teachers, as supervisors, managers, if we are all lifelong learners, and we nurture these abilities and capabilities, we can face the future challenges, including
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, and these are skills that can be learned, so we can work on them as like either on professional development or professional learning. Yeah. Thank you, Fatima. We're almost done. Two more questions. Fatima, can you recommend a book, podcast, or a resource that has had a significant impact on your professional life?
Well, there are very good resources, podcasts, books. It's very difficult to choose among them. But regarding resolving conflict, there is a book named Fight Right, written by Gottman couple, if I'm not mistaken. It is
Mhm.
written for couples how to uh, have a healthy communication and resolve the conflict. But I think we can apply the techniques and strategies to other contexts. There
Mhm.
is another book named The Power of Imperfect Starts, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Mhm.
this, I don't know if it has happened to you or not. Sometimes people are like, I want to start this project, but I'm not good enough. I'm not experienced enough. I have to wait. I
Yeah.
have to, get ready. So this book helps us to know that it's important to focus on process rather than the product. We learn by
Yeah.
doing things.
Well,
And
this is a very good book for novice teachers, I would say.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
last one is uh, the last one. I've forgotten the name. Start with why.
Mhm.
Yeah, written by Simon Sinek. It's a good book for those people who want to start their own business. So it helps
Mhm.
them to recognize what their values are and why they want to start their own business.
Yeah, cool. So back to the know your why. It starts with your why. So again, we need to know why we're doing this so we can continue doing it in the right way. Fatima, last but not least, what is TalentHut TESOL Academy adding to your personal and professional growth? If you can just tell us or talk to us a bit about your role in this academy, and what is the final thought you would like to share with all English language teachers, instructors, and educators about this organization academy?
Well, as our audience might know, TalentHut TESOL Academy is where all educators, professional educators from all around the world come together and help each other to learn, relearn, unlearn
Mm-hmm.
voluntarily. And
Yeah.
I cannot express my happiness. You know, it's a wonderful uh, privilege for me. I'm helping others. I'm just one individual from many individuals who are working hard behind the scene in order to make it happen. So, as the training coordinator, I have the privilege to cooperate with trainers from all around the world, and it's I can just say it's marvelous. You know, every second, every moment, I learn from their modesty. They're professional people. They're kind people. It's an extraordinary experience.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Fatima. It's great to have you in this platform. And then just a final word to everybody who's listening to us. We would love to have you joining us in the TESOL Academy, the TalentHut TESOL Academy. It's going to be amazing joining. You're going to have free training. You're going to meet people from, as Fatima said, from all over the world, educators, professionals. So it's a give and take. Like, I learn from you, you learn from me, we teach each other, and this is how life goes. Yeah, like it's as you mentioned, it's a long journey. Like, we are lifelong learners, so learning never stops. Fatima, thank you so much for being my guest today. It's an honor. We'll keep in touch for sure, and bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Okay.